We need to talk about a painful and very human problem, dishonesty. Not just the big lies, but the small ones, the ones you don't even mean to tell, the ones that slowly cost you trust, peace, and relationships. If you're realizing you have a pattern of dishonesty and you don't know why, and if you're watching someone you love break your heart over and over with false promises, mixed messages, or manipulation, this video is for you. Welcome back, beautiful souls and seekers of healing, truth, and transformation. Let's talk about why dishonesty happens and what healing looks like from both sides. Most people don't lie because they are bad. They lie because they are scared. Lies become a shield, a survival strategy, a way to protect the parts of ourselves we don't know how to reveal. Some lies protect shame, old childhood wounds, fear of being judged or abandoned, fear of losing someone you love, fear of being truly seen and rejected. When I see compulsive dishonesty in a client, I don't think this person is manipulative. I think this person learned that truth wasn't safe. Dishonesty isn't usually about deception, it's about survival. It's about protecting a fragile part of the self that never learned how to be honest, because honesty once led to pain. And when we understand that, we can finally begin to heal it. When you are the one who lies, if you lie and you don't understand why you do it, it's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you lack integrity. It might be because you fear rejection. You expect punishment or conflict. You learn to shapeshift to stay loved. You don't feel safe being vulnerable. You were never validated for telling the truth. You are not broken. You're protecting yourself. For many people, lying started young. You hid feelings to avoid punishment. You hid needs to avoid abandonment. You hid the truth to keep the peace. Those patterns don't just disappear as adults. But here is the deeper truth. The protection that once kept you safe may now be the very thing hurting your relationships. And that's where healing begins. When they are the one who lies. If you're watching someone you love betray your trust, the pain is real and the grief is real. Dishonesty creates confusion and mixed signals, emotional chaos, self-doubt and anxiety, mistrust, relationship instability. You lie awake wondering, why don't they care? Why do they keep hurting me? Why is something so simple so hard? But here's the truth most people don't hear. Their dishonesty is not your fault. It is not a reflection of your worth, your love, or your effort. Some people lie because they fear losing you. Some lie because they fear losing themselves. But their wound is theirs to heal, not yours to fix. Dishonesty in the brain. Let's talk neuroscience for a moment. When the amygdala senses emotional danger, it doesn't ask, is this rational? It moves into protection mode. The brain activates, avoid, protect, escape. The nervous system says the truth feels dangerous. Polyvagal theory calls this a defensive survival state. Your brain isn't thinking about honesty or morality. It's prioritizing emotional safety. So dishonesty becomes less about deception and more about protection. It's the nervous system's way of saying, I don't feel safe enough to tell the truth. And until safety is restored, the brain keeps choosing survival over connection. Real case examples. I once worked with a client who lied about the smallest things. Not to manipulate, not to get ahead, not to hurt anyone. But because every time they told the truth as a child, they were punished, shamed, or humiliated. So lying became protection. It became safety. The lie wasn't the real problem. The wound was. And I've worked with another client whose partner lied repeatedly. They weren't evil or selfish. They weren't trying to destroy the relationship. They were terrified of abandonment. They believed honesty would cost them the person they loved. This is what we see in therapy again and again. Dishonesty is a symptom, a signal of deeper fear, a nervous system trying to protect itself from pain. When dishonesty is trauma. Trauma teaches us powerful lessons. The world is unsafe. Honesty leads to pain or punishment. Vulnerability cannot be trusted. You must protect yourself at all costs. So people don't lie to be cruel. They lie to avoid conflict, avoid judgment, avoid consequences, avoid abandonment, avoid emotional exposure. This doesn't excuse the behavior, but it does explain it. When dishonesty is rooted in trauma, it isn't about morality, it's about survival. And when we understand the why, we stop attacking the symptom and start healing the pattern. Dishonesty as a personality defense. Sometimes compulsive lying is more than a habit, it's a psychological defense. It can show up in personality patterns like borderline, fear of abandonment and emotional loss, Narcissistic, protecting a fragile sense of self-worth. Avoidant, fear of rejection, conflict, or shame. Antisocial traits, survival learned in chaos or unsafe environments. These are not character flaws, they are adaptations. They are the nervous system saying, I have to protect myself. I can't risk being hurt again. I have to control the outcome. Personality disorders are not moral failures. They are survival patterns that were formed to cope with overwhelming pain. When we see dishonesty through that lens, we understand the defense instead of demonizing the person. If you are the liar, here is the truth. You are not lying because you're a bad person. You are lying because a part of you is still protecting itself. You're lying because something hurt you. Honesty was never safe. You were punished, ignored, or shamed for telling the truth. You learned to hide your real self to survive. Healing begins when you stop asking, what's wrong with me? And instead ask, what am I afraid will happen if I tell the truth? What part of me is trying to stay safe? Because the moment you understand the fear, you start breaking the pattern, not repeating it. If you love someone who lies, your boundaries matter, your emotional safety matters. It is okay to say, I need honesty. I deserve transparency. I cannot keep living like this. You are not asking for too much. You are protecting your heart. When someone lies repeatedly, you don't have to choose between compassion and boundaries. You can hold both. You can care about their pain and refuse to tolerate the behavior. Because loving someone does not mean sacrificing your sense of safety. You don't have to stay in confusion or mistrust to prove you are loyal or kind. You can love someone and still walk away from dishonesty. The deep lesson. Dishonesty isn't the disease, it's the symptom. The symptom of fear and shame, trauma stored in the body, abandonment wounds, nervous system dysregulation, a lifetime of being punished for vulnerability. Most people don't stop lying because they were confronted, shamed, or judged. They stop lying when they feel safe enough to tell the truth, when there is trust, when there is accountability, when fear is replaced with connection. Dishonesty heals when safety is restored, not when punishment gets louder. The path forward. If you are the one lying, there is hope. Patterns can change. With self-awareness, therapy, and emotional safety, you can learn to tell the truth without fear. You can outgrow the defense that once protected you. If you are the one being hurt, you can love someone and set boundaries. You can care and protect your peace. You don't have to sacrifice your emotional safety for the relationship. Honesty grows in environments of safety, compassion, nervous system regulation, boundaries, and accountability. Both sides deserve healing, both sides deserve truth, and both sides deserve a path forward. Thank you for spending this time with me. I am Nori, and this is my AI twin sister, Nora, exploring trauma, attachment, and emotional truth. If this video brought clarity, validation, or even a moment of relief, please like, share, and subscribe. And tell us in the comments, have you struggled with honesty, or have you been hurt by someone who lies? Your voice and your story matter here. And remember, beautiful soul, no one lies because they are unworthy. No one lies because they are beyond repair. People lie because they never learned that the truth was allowed to exist. They lie because at some point the truth was unsafe. Healing begins when honesty becomes possible again for both sides.